This is Matchweek. You are joined by myself, Ardi and Mini. We discuss everything soccer from the highs and the lows in the sporting week to the news that is relevant to you. Welcome back. You are listening top of the hour on WMSC Upper Montclair, and this is Matchweek. Jonathan, would you mind give us the version for our Hispanic listeners?
I mean, I can't say the whole thing, but
Just you can say this is Match Week if you want.
Este es Match Week.
There we go. There we go. We are cultured on this show.
Well,
we are cultured.
How would you say match week in Spanish, though?
No,
La semana de match?
yeah, I
La
guess so.
Hermana de Match, yes.
Similar.
Anyways, guys, we are joined by a special guest today. It is his birthday. Come on. Happy birthday to
birthday
Jonathan.
to you.
No, that might be copyrighted, guys. I ain't risking it. No.
Thank you, appreciate it.
You keep this traction going. But yeah, we got Jonathan on as a guest today. And guess who finally came back? Guess who didn't cancel on us last second?
It was 1 week. Well, it's nice. It's nice to be back. Thanks for the warm welcome.
No problem. And we also got Dejan back with us.
We back with it.
So, guys, we're going to be doing a slight roundup of the Prem nearing the end. We're going to pick who we think is going to ultimately get winning it, ultimately get relegated. And then we're going to dive into probably the hottest debated topic at the moment, Premier League Team of the Season. As of right now, EA released their version for FIFA, and to be honest, from their starting 11, there's only one person who I disagree with, and you'll be shocked with who it is, but I can't tell you right now. It's a bit of a spoiler. You gotta stand around, wait for it, and find out what happens. But first, we're talking Prem, guys. What are we thinking?
Well, first of all, for the 85th time over the last 5 weeks or so, I am a Chelsea fan. And let me tell about the self-destruction we are currently going through in the moment.
You guys, how about United? 4-0 against Brighton, bro.
Listen, now, we lost to Arsenal. All right, so we're not even going to discuss that.
Yeah, but honestly, I think Arsenal's beaten every top 6 side this season.
Well,
So it's nothing. It's no disrespect to you guys. I think Arsenal has just found their form. They found their playing style finally.
well, I still don't like them, but no,
I don't disagree with that part. I still don't like them.
I would say this, though, from Chelsea's point of view, like, listen, we got lucky. We beat West Ham. We tie United, which, all right, we'll take. We clearly threw the game against Everton to keep them in the league. I mean, it's the least we can do for Frank Lampard.
We knew you were probably going to do that anyway.
And then Lukaku finally has a good match, scores 2 goals, and we decide, no, we're not going to let that stand, and concede 2 at the end.
Yeah.
A 97th minute equalizer. Listen, Chelsea statistically is like 98% into the Champions League, top 4 secured. While we want to be title contenders, it's clearly not happening this season. Mm-mm. We'll take the top 4. We are, in the FA Cup final this weekend against Liverpool. I'm content. I'm not going to complain about that.
So then here's my question for you. You guys have a big match against Leeds. Do you take the foot off the pedal for that match against Leeds because you're guaranteed 3rd place and focus more on that cup game? Because honestly, all in favor of Liverpool not winning quadruple, say aye.
Everyone that's not from the red side of Merseyside.
Yes.
We are going to save mankind by beating them on Saturday. Now, here's the thing: if you are the FA and you're the Premier League, how on earth does Chelsea play today and then only have 2 days off before an FA Cup final?
Yeah, but that's been every team all season. Like Liverpool, they
played yesterday, didn't they?
Yeah, but does no one remember Liverpool's fixture list in December? In December, they had, I think, what was it? They had 10 matches within a span of 1 month.
But that's not leading to a cup final.
But still,
Chelsea plays on Wednesday and Saturday.
Hold on a second. Would you say that December is a more important month of the whole entire Premier League season than the end of the year? Because December makes or breaks it for a lot of teams points-wise.
Yeah, but a cup final is much more important than anything else. You're fighting for direct silverware. My thing is this, right? I spread the the Chelsea conspiracy that everyone hates Chelsea and everyone's against Chelsea all the time. Why is this match being played today, not yesterday, giving Liverpool a full extra day of rest?
But we all just clearly showed that everyone's against Liverpool right now. No one wants Liverpool winning anything.
Well,
no one wants to win the Champions League.
The FA is anti-Chelsea. How do they have 1 day less rest going into an FA Cup final against Liverpool? I just think that's pretty ridiculous. You want the best quality soccer or football in the FA Cup final, right? How does Liverpool get a full extra day rest?
Yeah, but then that's up to the manager though. Do you start?
No, that's up to the league. How does Liverpool play on a Tuesday and then Saturday, and Chelsea's on a Wednesday-Saturday split? That's crazy.
Yeah, but it's not all just Chelsea. Maybe it's something up with Leeds. You can't just say that it's just an anti-Chelsea type.
It's not like Leeds has anything else to do.
And Leeds has to fight to stay in the Prem. They can get relegated.
Yeah, but that's the only competition they've been in since what? Like November?
Doesn't matter. For someone like a Leeds, the money making in the Premier League is way more important than the money they would make in the Championship.
Aston Villa played yesterday. Leeds plays today. What's the difference for Leeds playing yesterday versus today? Nothing really. For Chelsea, it's a full extra day's rest going into a FA Cup final. The FA Cup final is much more important than Leeds' 24-hour difference in when they play a match. No disrespect to Leeds. Chelsea playing an FA Cup final is much larger than Leeds playing a league match against Chelsea today instead of yesterday. But anyway, let's move on because we can go on this Chelsea versus the world conspiracy forever. We don't like anyone. Nobody likes us. I don't care.
The new ownership.
Wait, but hold on. So then you can't just talk about the cup tie and not give us a prediction. What do you think the prediction is?
Chelsea wins 2-1 or on penalties. I want us to win on penalties just because we lost them in the Carabao Cup final. It would be nice to beat them in normal time. But hey, I'll take a win on Chelsea wins by a goal, whether that's in PKs, a 5-4 decision in PKs, or it'd be brilliant. Salah misses the crucial penalty for Liverpool.
You better pray that this type of soundbite does not get clipped again.
Listen. I will sit here.
He's on a roll of just completely misses.
Because I've clipped you at least like 2 times now in the past 2 episodes.
Listen,
Arsenal, Chelsea. Who else was it?
Chelsea, Real Madrid.
Yeah, Chelsea, Real Madrid. Oh,
listen,
man.
Chelsea's self-destructing right now, but that's fine. New owners. I think I might be the only person on the radio anywhere in the world that actually defends Chelsea. As Mourinho says, everyone seems to hate Chelsea for some reason.
No,
I'm here defending them.
You have not seen Rory Jennings on True Geordie with the kickoff. He is. Yeah, he is. I'm gonna be honest. He's worse than you when it comes to Chelsea. He really is, and you're bad sometimes.
I know. I follow him on social media. I love the man.
The guy says
like like I love the guy, but there's times where he says some stuff like
he once said Mason what's his name Mason Mount, the younger Mason Mount is way better than a younger what's his name Thierry Henry. When I heard that, I was like, yeah, insta block. Yeah, you're getting blocked right away.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not standing up for this. Don't even. Yeah. You have a smile on your face. Don't even. Don't.
I don't see Thierry Henry winning the Champions League last season. Where was he last season? I don't think he was playing. He was a ghost.
Yeah.
Mason Mount provided.
That guy is delusional. Like,
listen, Thierry Henry.
Beyond help.
By the time Mason Mount retires from the game, he'll be one of the most decorated English footballers to play the game.
All right, we're getting off Chelsea. I'm tired of Chelsea. Don't care. Chelsea versus Leeds. I hope Leeds win. Stay in the Prem. I love them. Next.
Well, listen,
what's the score, though?
I had to spread the propaganda this week. I wasn't here last week, so I'm making up for 2 weeks worth of Chelsea propaganda here.
All right, so we're cutting it now.
You did say we weren't going to get a break.
Okay, so Jonathan, we got Leicester versus Norwich City next. What are we feeling about that game? It's a very big game for Leicester to get some points to make it a little bit higher up in the top half of the table against a Norwich side that are guaranteed relegation right now. They're bottom of the lead.
Yeah, well, I mean, Leicester, they just had an upset, right, in the European tournament, right? So they just got eliminated. So, I mean, I think they're still a strong team. I think they're probably gonna take it. My prediction for that scoreline is probably 2-0, because
here's my question to all of you: do you think Leicester has been underperforming in comparison to years past?
Yes.
Because do you think, like Jonathan, do you believe that Brendan Rodgers has brought this team to the best that they can be?
I'd say there's still a lot of work left to do, but they've taken them to a consistent level. I'd say it's more of a consistent level.
So then would you say that it's time for a new manager, or do you say that it's time to go all in with Brendan Rodgers?
I'd say give him full support. Just like how we see a lot of the new managers coming in. I mean, Antonio Conte, same thing, right? I mean, this is a similar theme in terms of giving him full support in terms of what right, transfer window coming up or whatever it may be. I think that's what's necessary for how many seasons has this been for him?
I think
Brendan?
this is his
third.
like second season. I want to say because he was
Because he came from Rangers, I'm pretty sure. Right?
I always get confused because of that big break they had during COVID.
Yeah.
What seasons are?
Yeah.
So I think Besmir, if I'm mistaken, this is Brendan Rodgers' second or second and a half or something.
Brendan Rodgers started in 19. So yeah,
So
he's
it'd be-
finishing is like his third season, 2.5, 3 seasons
Yeah.
now. Let's be real. For Leicester gives anyone in England, a good match. I'm trying to think in the back of my head if there's another manager at the same caliber as Brendan Rodgers that Leicester could sign.
To be honest,
Yeah.
Graham Potter with that team, or even because Leicester has money, if you could somehow throw money at Pochettino.
Now, yeah,
Because I think Leicester's that top of a side with if you're able to utilize that talent properly, with having players like
they're forever going to be a selling club.
I don't think so.
They're never
They're
gonna-
not. I don't see them like a Leipzig. I don't see them like a Dortmund. They have a Premier League title under their belt.
Yeah, but that's
Yeah, but
that's
that was a lucky run.
That's
for
a-
Vardy, Mars,
Yeah,
and Conte.
but that
That's an-
title though. Listen, that title got them a lot of money invested into that club now, where now they could be a big spender in the market. So there's not someone to be frowned down upon.
no one's frowning down upon them. It's just Leicester City doesn't have isn't the
in a
same
global
caliber.
stature. I'm not saying like thinking of them as a bad team, but on a global scale.
No, they don't scratch the surface of being an Arsenal, a Chelsea, United, City, Liverpool. They won a Prem title that was a Cinderella story.
Probably one of the best.
It was a mesmerizing season from them from beginning to end. People couldn't take their eyes off of Vardy breaking records, Leicester coming in out of nowhere.
N'Golo Kante, Riyad Mahrez.
Oh my, it was unreal. But
Christian
then,
Fuchs.
right?
Wes Morgan, who
But look at them now, right? They still have a lot of talent in the side.
Yeah, James
but
Maddison.
they've had a lot of injuries, a lot of downturn. Like this team has been through a regression in comparison to last season, and you can say that about a lot of teams this year as well.
Well, the expected points table came out for this season, and Leicester was at like 34, right? So they're already beating expectations on what their expected points were for the year. And I just look at it like I think Brendan Rodgers is a top manager, top coach.
To be perfectly honest, I think Leicester is above the level of Brendan Rodgers.
Oh, that's tough. That is tough.
That's really tough.
I mean,
but here's the thing, it like because we've seen it at Liverpool. He gets to a certain height, just capitulates at the important moments. Leicester now we see it.
well, why did he not win that title that year?
What that was? What year was it again? You gotta remind me. I'm sorry.
The slip, the fall, right?
Yeah, I know.
2000.
Right? I mean, unfortunate.
That's what I'm thinking. Was it 2012 or was it 2013?
Uh,
Was it 12-13 season or 13-14 season?
Well, what's this?
when Gerrard slipped.
When Gerrard slipped.
Or was
and
it
gave them a
11-12?
No, it wasn't 11-12. It wasn't the year Chelsea won the
Was it the year?
Champions
Was it the
League.
year that United won the league? The last time ever in a long time.
It might have been.
Honestly, the last
No,
time
it
ever,
was
probably.
Last time ever.
But
Look, man.
I mean, I don't think like a Pochettino's not going to go from PSG.
Yeah, no.
To
I think he will though, because PSG
Nah.
has been shown to not be worth it for him. He's leaving. He wants out. He doesn't want to be there anymore.
Yeah, and if he goes anywhere, it has to be a big club that's going
Yeah.
to be competing like
Europa League, Champions League.
Leicester getting to the semifinals of the Conference League is a good season for them.
Very good.
Yeah.
They're currently 14th in the table,
Yeah, no, they're
15th, 14th. It's
Leicester are currently 14th.
the
right
best players are never going to stay at Leicester.
But wait,
They're
hold on.
always going to leave.
now. I also have to preface this to the fans out there. Leicester also have 2 games in hand.
Oh, and if they
doesn't matter.
win those matches, where do they land?
They'll be what,
13th?
ninth?
What? So then right now they have 43 points. So if they win both of those games,
That's
they
6 points.
actually shoot up to 9th place.
I had a feeling. Yeah,
Okay, so still in 9th place, still not even a conference.
not even
league
a conference
spot.
league. Yeah.
Yeah, but
You know,
here's
I
the
was
thing
just
though.
gonna
But
say.
that also takes a spot off of Brighton, who's been considered to have a wonder season.
Well, yeah, but
Yeah, well-
Brighton also isn't Leicester City size. It isn't the same caliber, right? Leicester City, if we look at this, Leicester City falls, in my opinion, at the same level of like a Wolves, maybe a West Ham, right? They're not in that upper echelon of Prem size, if you ask me. I mean,
Yeah,
Jonathan, I mean, what are this talk typically of, kind of where we rank Prem sides? I mean, I don't. Do you see Leicester as?
Look, I mean, I'll say this now for the people who watch the Prem and things like that. From what I see, I just will never see Leicester more than a mid-table club. That's pretty much where they're.
I disagree.
I know that they had that miracle season. We talk about that, but they're always going to be, in my eyes, a mid-table club. They're a great club, but it's just always going to be mid-table because they're going to be. They just always rotate. They're always rotating. They're turning over players. I mean, great players, but turning over players.
Here's the thing, right? It's like, yeah, we say that wonder season, but besides this year, they've finished in the top 6 every single year since then. They've been a top 4 finisher. They've been in the top 5. So we can't say they're not that upper echelon club when they've been outperforming teams like Arsenal, like Spurs. I think respect has to be given to the team, but I think Brendan Rodgers, just like how Ole couldn't bring United any further, I think Brendan Rodgers can't bring them any further as well.
Leicester has 2 league wins since March 20th.
Yeah, they've had injuries and they've been missing a lot of players.
No. That's a poor excuse to say when.
No, because
they're competing in Europe. No, they put their focus on Europe, which is understandable. But they've been drawing everyone. You can't say injuries and say, wow, they put up a good game against Roma.
Yeah, they did.
So we can't blame injuries on that. We can't pretend that Roma's not one of Italy's better sides nowadays.
Oh, right. Dude, Tammy Abraham. Bro,
exciting.
Okay, I'm going to bring up Chelsea again one more time just for this. How do you guys sell that many players that are that good? It's like, it's embarrassing. You guys are having another De Bruyne
It's not embarrassing.
situation happening.
It's not embarrassing. It's easier to play in Italy than it is in the Premier League. And I'm not going to ever argue.
Are you saying that for a Tammy or are you saying that for a Tomori?
Huh?
Are you saying that about Tammy or Tomori? Because you can't say that about Tomori, because Tomori's been one of the best defenders in the world right now.
One of the best defenders in the world, but only playing in league matches.
Yeah.
When you're playing at the caliber of a Manchester City or a Liverpool, I'm not going to mention Chelsea. Liverpool, by the end of the season, will have played in every single available match to them. Chelsea only missed out on the Champions League matches that they didn't make to the end of, right? To play for these clubs where you're playing, you said it, 2-3 matches a week. How many matches? How often has that happened to Milan this season?
None, but I think credit has to be credit just for Tomori's sake.
Tomori's quality.
Tomori's I say that
amazing.
because Tomori has had 4 different center back partnerships this season, and it's legitimately that defense has only been him and Mike Maignan. Them two have just been
Listen,
that team.
I love Tomori. I do. I love Tammy Abraham. I'm very happy they're succeeding in Italy. I really do. I think Serie A is a wonderful league. They're at 2 top clubs.
Serie A is really competitive. Have you guys looked at the league table right now?
Yeah,
the league
I've
in
seen it.
Serie
I've
A
been rooting
is
for Milan.
literally like a point differential for top 4.
Yeah, no, it's
in between
crazy.
from like first to fourth, like it's just only a
Yep.
point separating so many teams.
But look at all those teams though in European competitions. Roma makes it to the Conference League final. Juve, who has always been the kings of Italy for the last decade plus.
Yep.
They've been the kings of Italy. They got knocked out, second round of the Champions League this year?
I think
Round of
Juve's
16?
issue is that now that they're overturning some of the squad, they have the wrong manager doing it. Because bringing back an Allegri, I think was their biggest mistake. Departing from a Pirlo, which I give respect to Juve for giving Andrea Pirlo a chance, someone who's been a class player throughout his career.
They didn't give him enough of a chance.
Yeah,
honestly.
but still, like it's tough to have that season and have the expectation, which is why I give credit where credit is due.
Yeah, but it's a Frank Lampard issue.
Yeah.
Is Pirlo, Lampard are similar in in their status in their country as they've played club. I mean, I would argue and say Lampard probably has a bigger reputation in England than Pirlo does in Italy, and that's people can argue that with me. I wouldn't say it's a bad argument to make. However, what experience does Pirlo have other than he was a class player? Let's throw him immediately into Italy's best team, full of the Italian national team. He just played with these guys 2 years ago, and now we're gonna put him in to manage these guys. Listen, no offense to Lampard or Pirlo or anyone, like Zidane when Zidane did that.
Same thing. Yeah.
Zidane
Zidane had one of the best teams to ever play, though.
But some people argue Zidane is arguably, he had a phenomenal team. He's arguably one of the greatest players to ever step foot on the pitch.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Lampard's
Agreed.
the greatest goal scoring midfielder in history. I'll argue that to the end of time with anyone. But Zidane was Zidane's my favorite player ever. Like he was a god amongst players, right?
Which is why I think it worked for him as a manager in a Real Madrid Galacticos side, where you had to control personalities like Ronaldo.
He didn't have to build a
Benzema,
side.
Bale.
Yeah.
He didn't. He just had to control the players he had. And that's where you honestly got the best out of each and every single one of them. No matter whether it was a up-and-coming Marco Asensio or whether it was an aging Marcelo and Carvajal, or even keeping that center-back partnership of Ramos and Varane smoothly going.
Well, it's more managing than it is coaching. You're sitting there, you're managing personalities, you're managing your players, and your relationships are massive with them.
Yeah.
And Ancelotti is very good at that. Ancelotti recently came out and said...
That Man City game, he went and asked the senior players on the bench who he had to sub off because they just couldn't keep their legs going. He said, who do I sub on out of the young guys right now? He asked them because they've been around the younger guys longer than he has recently.
And with Ancelotti, first of all, huge congratulations to him. I mean, he's into the Champions League final. First manager in history to win the 5 major titles in the leagues.
By the way, I have to give a huge shout out to Brandon Morazzo, aka Maz, who interrupted this show partially, and he said, and I quote, Real Madrid all the way through. And he predicted it against Man City when everyone else went the other way. So I have to give huge kudos to my good friend Brandon Mazarazzo Maz.
Yeah,
I wasn't concerned either. Trust me, I was watching.
Okay,
both
but
games.
John,
you're talking about my team here.
You're as delusional as Besmir when it comes to Real. Come down over there, bro.
Well, how can I be delusional when we're still the kings of Europe?
No, I am
of the
not listening to this right now, Besmir. This is not happening. We're not doing this.
So go back to Serie A. Go back to Serie A.
Okay, just for another 2 minutes because we have very big games going on today and tomorrow, so we have to review them quickly.
Leicester is fine. I don't think they get bigger than Brendan Rodgers. Listen, if you ask me, Roma's very, very lucky to have Jose Mourinho.
Oh yeah, 100%.
You know, Jose is, in the absolute elite tier of managers in the world, right next to myself.
Because here's the thing: because people like Ole and Lampard really set the structure for the managers that came after. So if you look at, for example, an Ole Gunnar Solskjaer side, he thrived off the back end of a Mourinho era when they were still set up to play a certain way, where Ole didn't really set them up tactically. It was more so managing the players, and they still had those mannerisms from Mourinho. And the same thing with Lampard. Tell me yes or no, Lampard was the most crucial in the first half of your Champions League win run, yes or no?
I'm going to argue and say no, because Ole, Pirlo, Lampard, they aren't going to come in, and they've shown they haven't been able to come in and build something.
I know, but what I'm saying is that sometimes the manager prior who was in sets the backbone for the managers to come over after, and give them a sort of like a
It depends on which regard.
A jumping board to go.
It depends. I mean, listen. I think Ole did more. I think United keeping Ole as long as they did more damage to them than anything.
No, I
because
disagree.
No identity at United under him. There was no growth. I mean, he was bagging on.
I
these
think the biggest issue
guys.
is that you can't have a manager like Ole and then have a Ronaldo come in. You need to have a manager like Mourinho and then a player like Ronaldo come in.
So
you can't have a player that's bigger than a manager come in. So especially a manager that's only been in it for 2 or 3 years.
So when you think of all the greatest managers in the world, they all have a specific way they play and the way they manage.
Yeah, playing style.
It's what is not in a managerial, not just the way they play, but the way they manage and the way they build clubs. You know what you're getting out of Pep, out of Carlo Ancelotti, out of Jurgen Klopp, out of Antonio Conte for sure. El Cholo, Diego Simeone,
Eric Ten Hag.
You know what you're getting. Well, even him, he's not proven yet.
Bias.
Ten Hag has to come into United.
United in him.
And Ten Hag, is going to play a specific style. He's going to build a specific brand of football at United. But also, what did Lampard do at Chelsea? What did Ole do at United?
No. But here's the thing, Ole. Wait,
like
I think what Ole tried doing was that he tried bringing back. I wouldn't say like the old United, but he tried bringing back the culture, swagger of what the team should be.
But there was no real playing style with it.
Oh yeah,
there was a flat line in development for United.
I sort of agree. Ole sort of lucked out with having an informed Fernandes come in and have a supernova season. Let's be real right now. Name me a player that's came in the winter and had as good as numbers as Fernandes
No, listen, Bruno, quality.
This season, no, but in general, yes, quality player.
Quality player. Right? I'm going to say it again, though. Like, you look at, what Arteta, Mikel Arteta, who I think the way he's gone about his managerial career, studying
Perfect.
under Pep, and taking that and kind of moving forward from there has been very, very smart in what his long-term future is going to look like. He is building Arsenal into once again a
What they used to
powerhouse. He's building Arsenal. Lampard brought in a lot of players at Chelsea, but there was no real playing style. He was playing for results and for his job every week.
I was gonna say something actually to add on to that because, and this is the biggest differentiator between like all these mid-table, like we were talking about Leicester, we're talking about Wolves and all this stuff. The reason why I think there's a lot of respect is the academies. I think we can also talk about the academies because Arsenal's got a great academy. I mean, Chelsea's got probably top 3 academy in the world, but all these academies, you realize like all these young talents are going to the other Premier League clubs, but then they leave for a bigger ticket price or whatever you call it. And then you just realize, well, all these academies is what creates the quality.
Yeah.
So Arsenal, the reason they got those youngsters on fire is because they trust in that academy. So
and they're building something. I mean, the four of us are all pretty much at one point, in one way or another, associated with North Jersey FC.
Yes, sir.
We all work at the club together, right? To one extent or another, we all work at the club together. And every conversation we have about building something is sustained growth over a long period of time.
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, you look at Leicester when they won under Ranieri.
Yeah.
How long did the success last? Like, that was a miracle run. That was play for results, play for results, play for results.
Well,
One hit wonder.
I think that Ranieri season is the equivalent of when Sir Alex won his last season. He saw he had a squad of aging players.
Sir Alex is the greatest manager ever, of course.
Yeah.
oh yeah,
Go win the matches, win some trophies. And listen, you're not building anything right now. You're really pushing for results. I mean, I think there are some clubs that I think do it better than others, like Real Madrid right now. They're in a rebuild to an extent because
I have a question.
Yeah.
So I'm sorry to derail you off the topic, but I had to cut you off there just for this reason. What delegates someone to be the greatest? Because I was listening about this the other day, and we look at a Pep, right? We consider Pep one of to be up there in the conversation, sort of.
Yeah.
He deserves to be in there.
But
Ever or
Like
in the
the
world
GOAT?
right now?
no, like in the world right now. But here's the thing:
No, ever no.
do you rate him higher than Klopp? Because personally,
Yes.
from what I've seen, I think Jurgen Klopp is a better manager just because a Pep, like, I wouldn't say he hasn't worked for what he's had, but the times he's won the Champions League, he had probably the greatest squad in the history to play. That Barcelona team, yes or no?
Yeah.
What? And then also, he's been with Bayern, with Man City, trying to make it as far as he can, choked at the big games, but in the leagues he thrives. So here's my question: Does the manager's league performance matter more than his European performance?
It depends on the club, right?
Yeah,
I had this
so-
conversation with Reed to an extent. Reed's the other assistant at
Yep.
FDU and at NJFC with me, right?
Beaker.
And we were discussing with some of our players. And the way I tried to explain this to our players was Guardiola builds a squad that over a long season is going to compete for everything consistently. And Guardiola's teams are always winning league titles because across the board, he spends a lot of money. He builds long-term success, right? Klopp build squads to win trophies. I don't see, like, he left Dortmund after a while, right? Because the whole enthusiasm behind him fell apart.
yeah.
Guardiola, if you ask me, has built what can be considered a dynasty at City. Like, when anyone draws City in a competition, they're afraid. They're trembling because playing a Guardiola side means top to bottom you're going to get harassed in every part of the pitch. Klopp
Yeah, we
is a
saw.
little different. Like, I'd rather play Liverpool than play a City in a cup final, or I'd rather play Liverpool instead of City in a knockout game. People are going to disagree with me. I understand that.
I would disagree personally.
Klopp has been at City, Liverpool longer than Pep's been at City, right? Klopp's been at Liverpool longer than Pep at City.
Yeah,
And he just signed a new deal,
Just a little long. Yeah,
2026.
Both of them, yeah.
I don't think, or I don't believe that, well, Klopp has done in 6-7 years. He's won 2 major titles. He hasn't built a dynasty at Liverpool. They've had a couple good seasons.
But also, you said it before, it's based on the club we're talking about. We're talking about Liverpool, where it took them 30 years to win a Premier League. It took him about over a decade to win another European championship. Would you say that's not him being successful with a club that's...
I'm not saying it's not successful, but I'm saying, like, nobody really doubts that besides this year where Liverpool's going for a possible quadruple is what they were pushing for. They're not winning the league at this point. The FA Cup's this weekend. They have to beat Real Madrid, who might be the most informed team in knockout games in the world right now.
Here's my question. Do you
points,
say that if you were to put a Jurgen Klopp in a position that Pep Guardiola is at Man City, where he has infinite spending power, he could do whatever he wants with the club, do you think he would be able to do what Pep Guardiola has been able to do?
No.
Because we've seen a Pellegrini, a Mancini win the league numerous times, just like Pep Guardiola.
Yeah, but not as comfortably as Pep does.
Yeah.
I mean, Pep hasn't had a real number 9.
Yeah, but to nick it off a at the time like world class United team. Remember that Aguero moment? They took it last day of the season against probably one of the better Man United sides we've seen in a very long time.
Yeah, but that was towards the end of Ferguson's run, right? So that squad was declining, and since if you look at the way Guardiola wins, like it's not just, close match. Listen, yeah, he has his shortcomings in Europe. I'm not gonna oppose that, but it's been very difficult for me to accept the fact that, listen, Klopp is brilliant, right? And listen, their recruiting is solid, right? I hear of Salah leaving, of Mane leaving, of Firmino leaving. I hear of all these people leaving Liverpool every season, going on to bigger clubs. I almost never hear of anyone wanting to leave City, right? So to me, if I'm a player...
Well, is that because of the money? Because someone like
Liverpool has money.
No, Liverpool has a strict wage structure, though.
Listen,
which is why they might be losing a Salah, because they don't want to break their wage structure.
Listen, we can look at how much money Salah's making right now. I promise you, it's comparable to what City players are making.
Yeah,
I mean,
but it's not. You can't say that because Salah's one of the most. If you look at it, Salah's one of the most underpaid players in comparison to your, let's say, I bet you Raheem Sterling makes more than him. I bet you De Bruyne makes more than him. Even a Jack Grealish.
Yeah, but if you ask me, De Bruyne's the best player in the Prem.
Yeah, the
so
best midfielder ever.
Yeah,
don't say Prem. Hey.
Whoa, what is?
But hold on a second. But you're gonna tell me that Salah doesn't
there.
deserve more than De Bruyne after what he's done for Liverpool?
Supposedly, Salah makes $268,000 a week. So that's what, 220,000 euros a week.
That's like
pounds.
That's like 200,000 pounds. 200,000 pounds.
200 that.
Yeah, but in comparison to, let's say, when Aubameyang was at Arsenal, he was making 370. Pogba at United making over 400.
Well, yeah, but that just because of United's shortcomings, let's not blame anyone else.
Also City and also Chelsea's done it too with some of their players.
Yes, but at the same time, when they have had these players, like Arsenal needed some way somehow to bring Aubameyang in, so you offer him a lot of money.
Well, no, this was his initial contract. This is when they renewed.
So to keep him. Right, to play for Liverpool right now nowadays is much more of an honor than to play for Arsenal. With no disrespect to Arsenal, it's Liverpool is just a different echelon. In a different echelon, they're phenomenal.
Yeah,
right. To play for Liverpool is a privilege, and to be making 200,000, right? It's very difficult anyway to say. Players enjoy playing. Like, listen, I understand players love Liverpool and whatnot, but Salah's making very good money. If you were to ask me, I tell you that if I had to choose where I wanted to go, I go to City because I know at City we're dominating for the long run. I know even if Guardiola leaves, there is a side built at City for the long term. There is 20 players that can jump into the starting 11 at any time and put on a world-class performance.
Mm.
I mean, look at the midfielders City has. With no disrespect, they don't have to bring on a 30-some-year-old James Milner. You know what I mean? Like, with no disrespect to James Milner, no disrespect.
But then again, you could sort of relate that to a City bringing on a Fernandinho who's 30-something.
Yeah.
Well, would you
For
put
that,
Fernandinho over James Milner?
I'll take James Milner. James
Really?
Milner's not gonna get skinned like Fernandinho did against Vinicius Jr.
Yeah, but that's one moment. Fernandinho's.
What do you?
Multiple moments in both fixtures. You can't just say one moment.
We're talking about
then again, they were-
Fernandinho for his whole
then
stay
again,
at
they weren't-
Manchester
they
City
weren't playing
over
him at
James
right back,
Milner at
so.
Liverpool.
Yeah, but James Milner at Liverpool has won a Champions League. What has James Milner done? I mean, what has Fernandinho done? He's won numerous titles, yeah, but James Milner won a Premier League title as well. So you can't say they haven't been both equally as successful. Anyways, we have to nick this in the bud right here because we have to move on
We got a big
to
game.
our games. And also, top of the hour, WMSC Upper Montclair.
90.3.
90.3 WMSC.
I got it right this week. I said 90.2 last week. You guys.
No, it wasn't that. No, you said it backwards the other. That was the issue. You said WMSC 90.3. It's 90.3 WMSC.
So-
anyways,
sorry.
So we left off. Wow, how we diverted. We were left off from Leicester City, Norwich City. Okay, look. So Leicester's winning. Norwich. I'm sorry, Timo Pukki. I'm sorry, Rashika. Sorry, Brandon Williams. I'm sorry,
not.
Max Aarons. You guys are losing. Watford, Everton.
I got
Watford's
Everton.
relegated. Everton, I think Donny van de Beek scores six goals against Ben Foster. I'm sorry I was second GK, but did anyone see his video against the Arsenal women's team?
No.
Like, no offense to Ben, but they dogged him, bro. Like, the shots I saw them put past him were filth. Like,
Yeah, we're talking about a
filthy.
40-year-old goalkeeper though.
Doesn't
Yeah,
matter. It was
yeah.
just no, but
This
I'm
guy.
saying in his defense, the shots were insane.
Yeah, fair enough.
If you were to look, like, the way how, like, they were able to, like, side body turn and knuckle the ball over him was crazy to say the least. I think Everton, like I said,
I
Donny
got
van de
Everton as
Beek,
well.
6 goals. No, I think that Everton needs this win to stay in the league.
I got Everton 3-0.
I think we
Ne-
should.
Oof.
Ouch.
Everton 3-0. I think it's going to be a 1-0.
I have 2-1 Everton.
2-1. I think it's going to be a 1-goal victory, maybe.
Is Richarlison healthy? Because if he is,
Yes, he is.
he's scoring the game winner.
Yeah. Richarlison's healthy.
I love
Jonathan?
And then he'll do the pigeon celebration afterwards.
I think it'll be like 2-0.
Yeah.
I got
So
3.
then next we have Wolves versus Man City.
Come on now.
it. Man City by 3 goals.
Man City by 12.
Yeah, like
When is
By
this?
12? I wouldn't disrespect Wolves that much.
Dude.
Connor Cody, Nelson Semedo.
Yeah.
but City's no Chelsea. They're
I
not just going to
know.
fall over. Listen, Chelsea was up 2-0. City's not going to sit there. Actually, we've seen it against Real Madrid, but no, I'd be shocked if Pep
If they
lets the
get
title
anything a
slip
tie.
like that.
Okay, so then we're all in agreement of Man City win, yes?
Oh yeah. Without a doubt.
Okay, next
It might
we
be
have
a tight game though.
it is going to be a tight game, but I think City's winning it. Next we have Tottenham versus Arsenal. That's
Tomorrow, right? That's
tomorrow.
That's a big
at
game.
2:45. That's the most important game of the week in my opinion.
That's the
So-
fourth place defining game.
I'm going to continue my run of saying Arsenal's going to lose in hopes that they
my
actually
God.
do. Listen, I love Antonio Conte. Now, I think Arsenal's going to win the game, but I'm hoping, so I'm going to manifest a Spurs win.
But here's the thing.
I'm in the same boat.
So here's the thing.
No.
Arsenal 66 points, Spurs 62 points. So realistically, if Spurs loses, this helps out Manchester United massively.
Anything to help out Manchester United is with you, huh?
Yeah, but here's the thing. I want United to lose so bad that we don't get Europe next season. That's what I want.
Well, mathematically, United's out of the Champions League regardless.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
Regardless,
period.
that's the point I'm trying to make. I don't care about Tottenham. I want United to just no Europe. I want us to have a break. I want us just to fix everything like Arsenal did and just get back into it. That's what I want.
No,
I want Ten Hag to have a chance to rebuild the team.
I would love to see West Ham finish in 6th and United knocked to the Conference League.
I agree. That's what I'm saying. I don't
got-
want them. I don't want them in Europe anywhere.
Well, no, just because the Conference League will be just the kind of competition where you guys have to stay in it all season.
Oh yeah, and then have to choke at the end. Yes, exactly.
No,
I got this one. I got Arsenal on this one, but I think 4-3. I think it's gonna be a very good game. I think Nketiah will score 2.
Nketiah, Odegaard,
Odegaard,
Saka.
yeah.
That team is in form right now. As we called it, Dejan, and someone wanted to disagree with us.
Listen,
I said it
no,
too.
no,
I said
but I think-
Odegaard was gonna score. What did he do? He scored, and they lost the game afterwards. I just had a hunch.
Anyways, but here's the thing that's sort of disrespectful to Tottenham. They have to play a game like 3 days later on Sunday against Burnley. And Burnley, it's a very big game for them. Burnley need the win to stay in the Prem. They need it. It's an absolute must.
They're not gonna.
Burnley without Sean Dyche is nothing. I'm
They
sorry.
can't handle it.
I don't know. Wood Weghorst has been saving them. Because here's the thing now. If Leeds wins, then that puts Burnley down. But then if Everton loses, like this 18th place spot is between Everton, Burnley, and Leeds. And to be honest, I don't know which team, because Everton still have a game in hand. Leeds, Burnley, they're currently tied on points.
Burnley's gonna drop to the championship, and Veghorst is gonna become a monster in the championship. Mark my words.
No, I don't think Veghorst stays if they get
Definitely
dropped.
not. No, I think he's going.
Honestly, I could see a Veghorst going to an Arsenal if they get dropped, or to a
No,
Tottenham.
because Arsenal would probably target Darwin Nunez if anybody.
Yeah,
they
but
need a
supposedly
striker.
United's going in for him, and he doesn't care
United
about
Well,
are
a
it.
lot of
going for
clubs are going for
Nkunku. That's who
Darwin,
you
so-
guys want. You
Yeah,
guys
but
want.
I think they want
Christopher
both of
Nkunku.
them because Pogba's leaving.
You can't have
We're-
two players like that.
Yeah, no, yes we can because half of our midfield is leaving, dude. What do you mean we can't?
United needs like 7 first-team players.
Yeah, exactly.
To come in.
We need players, dude. Don't be telling me what we
Alright,
need.
so
They're redefining total rebuild.
Exactly.
Look, man, that's the North London Derby, by the way. I mean, that's gonna be just phenomenal. I just want to finish that thought. Spurs is they're on. All my money's on
We know
Spurs.
you love Conte. We know that.
But because that's that. But it's also just because I just think like Spurs are finally getting to the point where they're just so sick and tired of losing, because
I mean,
they finally got to that mindset. Because I think
It's
in
what
the
they do
beginning of
at
the
the
season,
club.
That's what they
in the
do.
beginning of the
I mean,
season, they
here's the
bottled
thing,
so
like,
many games they're just ridiculous.
So the past 5 games, they've won 2, drawn 2, and lost 1.
Yeah.
So they've been holding it together. Like Conte's been playing for the results.
Right.
What? Not that it's helped. I mean, that's only what? That's 8 points out of a possible 15.
Without Son, they'd be in a whole deeper situation here.
Oh, Son.
Son has been scoring
We're
almost
gonna talk
every.
about Son later, but Son, I think, has been the second best player in the league this season,
Yeah.
Yikes!
right behind Mo Salah. It's
It's tough to say that, but
we're gonna cut that there.
I
is
think
good.
half of the City and Liverpool lineups themselves would say yikes.
no, yikes! Are you kidding me? First off, if Son was at a City wins everything this season. Just to make that abundantly clear.
No comment.
Spurs are taking it.
Exactly. Okay, so then next, after Spurs, Burnley, we have Crystal Palace, Aston Villa. A big game, especially because Villa just lost yesterday against Liverpool, which was a close game, by the way. Aston Villa on the front foot. Steven Gerrard putting up a performance against Liverpool.
Hold on.
I'm so happy Liverpool's not winning the league title. Imagine going from looking for the hopeful quadruple. I hope they lose to City in the Prem title race. I hope they lose to Chelsea in the FA Cup final for 2 reasons. I hope Real Madrid beats them in the Champions League final. Imagine Liverpool season ending with a
nothing.
Carabao Cup title or a trophy. That's all they win after a possible quadruple.
And a second place.
And a second place finish in everything else. How brilliant would that be?
Wow.
Masterclass.
I mean, at that point, Chelsea would have had the better season than Liverpool, silverware-wise.
To be perfectly honest, though, Liverpool really did have their points sort of messed about with the draws they've had. They've had 8 draws.
Yeah, so much for a brilliant attacking side in Liverpool.
Yeah, but a lot of those times has been Mo Salah saving them and getting those draws, though.
Yeah.
And Luis Diaz.
And Luis Diaz
That's the
and
other
Diogo
thing.
Jota.
People sit there and say Salah, but I think Luis Diaz is why they're winning right now.
Yeah.
I think the last 5, 6, 7 matches, I think he's the reason why they're winning it.
Because if there's one thing,
The
Well,
last
it's sort
game
of-
that they
but
won,
it's-
he
it's-
crossed it into.
Yeah, but
who was it, I think?
it's sort of that Bruno effect, though. As soon as Bruno came in halfway through the season, he lifted up players like a Martial, a Rashford, even a Dan James. Like, bringing in a player halfway through the season who is a quality player, who could be a guaranteed starter next season, really helps the top players who are already at that club.
Let's be honest. If Liverpool sold Salah or Mane, is it really that bad? They have Luis Diaz.
They have
Is there-
Luis Diaz, Jota. It would just be someone.
really-
Yeah, but here's the thing: you have to replace a 30-goal output. Let's be real
Yeah,
right now.
right.
30 goals, 12 assists in all competitions. Replacing 42 goal
Salah, right?
contributions. Yes.
Yeah.
Salah leaving Liverpool would be as big as Hazard leaving Chelsea, Ronaldo leaving Madrid.
Ronaldo leaving United originally too.
Yeah, like that's, which for some of our listeners, that was forever ago. So
That was 2009, just to put that
so-
in context.
yeah.
you know, but looking at it, like Cristiano Ronaldo was that man for Real Madrid. Look how much they suffered the year after. Look how much.
Yeah.
Look how much.
They suffered,
Chelsea
but then
suffered.
But then individually, players like Benzema and all of them really were able to showcase their talent.
Yeah, but after
No,
a
but
time-
what Besmir's saying is the shadow lingered a little
Oh
bit.
yeah, of course, I agree with that. 100%.
Completely.
Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
like the added pressure on all the other players
Yeah.
was I mean, look at Chelsea. I argue with everyone. If Eden Hazard, if we
Never
had a
left
player of
Chelsea.
his caliber
Yeah, yeah,
at
yeah.
Chelsea, he was a game changer. In all these matches, Chelsea tied, lose by a goal. Eden Hazard was the game changer. We're 1-1, our 1-1 draw against United last week. Eden Hazard would have been the game changer.
I'm not gonna lie, man. If you guys had an Eden Hazard linking up like with a Lukaku and even with a Pulisic or even a Hakim Ziyech.
Yeah,
Yeah, but they
listen.
didn't even play Ziyech, unfortunately.
First off, it's so disrespectful what you guys do to Hakim Ziyech. He should be a guaranteed starter.
Well, in our opinions, but I have this argument with everyone all the time, is Thomas Tuchel is a brilliant human being and manager. Like, people argue he doesn't put consistent lineups out, he doesn't do this, doesn't do that. I turn to them and say, listen, he's been at Chelsea for a year and a half. He's picked up a handful of trophies already. Like, calm down. Like, there's a chance.
Like, come
Yeah, pipe it
on. I
down.
got so upset.
But realistically,
He's like,
Chelsea,
yo,
like,
back
calm
off.
down.
Back off. What's
Chelsea,
good, bro?
Chelsea had the possibility of playing 66 matches this year.
Yeah.
The only 3 they're missing are 2 semifinals of the Champions League and the Champions League final. People have to remember, Chelsea got to the Carabao Cup final. We won the Club World Cup. We got to the FA Cup final. And we lost in the quarterfinals to a good Real Madrid side who's in the final now after a very close match.
But would you say that both English teams capitulated against the Real? Because I would say not because they're a worse team, because Real Madrid has more of like that culture, that experience, sort of like that Galactico spirit behind the team. Like, it doesn't matter who's on it.
It's a difference in experience.
Yeah.
Right? Chelsea had moments to put the match away against Real Madrid. Pulisic had 2 chances in 7 or 8 minutes.
Being
Jorginho,
subbed on late, by the way.
yeah, Jorginho had a shot from 12, 13 yards out. He didn't even put on target.
Yep.
Right? Real Madrid is put in those situations and they score those goals. That's why when I tell people experience matters, especially like when we're at the college.
Yeah.
Like the kids that I call, the real footballers, not just the soccer players, the footballers, those kids who we have a kid Yari, for example. I say this about him all the time.
Yeah.
I say Yari plays soccer every moment he's awake and living. He breathes football.
Yep.
He's a footballer. He's at the gym, takes care of his body, eats well, rests well. He's one of the fittest guys in our squad. He's a footballer. Real Madrid is full of them. They're full of these guys with the experience where you need a big goal, they grab the big goals. I mean, to make the kind of comebacks Real Madrid makes it's
a culture.
all experience. It's a cultural thing. They're the kings of Europe, the undisputed kings of the Champions League. Speak. I mean, you're the Real Madrid fan, man.
I mean,
You can finally glow. It's the first time in years.
It's a mentality. It's a mentality thing. Honestly, look, to think about that second Man City game, literally for 89 minutes, Real Madrid has 0 shots on target, and then the last 2 minutes of the game in stoppage time, 2 shots on target, 2 goals.
like that.
That's
Just
ridiculous. Like, for most people, they're like, "What?"
Flip of
And
a
also,
switch.
no. But that Real Madrid defense kept them in the game. That Mendy goal line clearance against Grealish, as soon as he comes on, creates 3 game-ending chances with that Real Madrid defense somehow pulling off miracles
That's
against
the
them.
But
problem
again,
with
it's a
City, though.
mind-
City don't have that killer instinct striker that
Exactly.
they need.
I know.
That's why they brought in Holland now.
mindset.
Because
Lord.
now he could finish those chances that they're missing.
And then now you're going to have a front 3 of Holland.
Holland, Foden, and Mahrez.
No,
are
Mahrez.
Sterling.
No. Mahrez, Holland, and Grealish is going to be wrapped.
All right.
We'll have to see. I mean,
We'll
listen.
see. No, we'll see.
Real Madrid on a bad day against Chelsea in the second leg. Chelsea was the better team on the day.
Of course.
Real Madrid put the chance they need to put away.
But both times against Chelsea and against Man City. Man City was the way better team.
But that's what makes champions. Is even on the worst days they win.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Listen, you guys scored 3 goals in the 90th plus minutes against City.
That's why you never count them out, even when they look at their lowest.
2 goals stoppage time and then 1 goal in the
Extra time.
overtime. Yeah, that's like, it's ridiculous. Nobody's ever thought that would ever happen, and that's why you see memes nowadays. Only Real Madrid can do something like that because of the mentality, the culture.
Or even
That's what it is.
But even just like for Barcelona's the same. Remember those comebacks against the PSG? Who else was it? The big goal aggregate they played against
Which one?
Barcelona. They had 2
Oh,
games
Liverpool
against
4-0
Liverpool as well. Like
Oh.
teams that have a winning culture and have a lot of history behind them can sort of muster up those kind of results.
Bayern
But anyways, we had to finish up these predictions. Now we have Leeds again playing 3 days later against Brighton.
I got Brighton.
Brighton's winning. I love Jesse Marsh. I love Dan James.
I have Leeds 2-1.
I have Brighton, especially coming off a 4-0 victory against United. Brighton's clear.
Matter of fact, I'm changing my mind. I got a 1-1 draw.
Jonathan? We have a win, a draw, and a win for the other team. Who are you picking?
I think Brighton's gonna carry that momentum from that United game. Just gonna win the
Yep,
game. Probably.
I agree with that.
Either 1-0, 2-0.
Next, Leicester Watford. Leicester guaranteed.
Leicester.
Yeah. West Ham, Man City.
I still got City. I'm sorry.
I don't.
Still got
West
City.
Ham angry at the refereeing during their game, rightfully so.
Yeah, but that also could cause them to lose their minds a little bit and not focus on the game in hand.
I think this is gonna be a West Ham upset, and it's gonna put Liverpool back into the race.
Nah. I got City winning maybe 3-1, 2-1. Maybe even a 3-2 if Bowen has a good day.
I have a 2-0 victory over Rice and Bowen goal.
Okay.
Declan Rice gonna show why he's been one of the best midfielders.
Did you see they just offered him an 8-year contract at $200,000 a week?
Yeah, because they don't want him to leave. I
8
don't
year,
blame
yeah.
them.
West
yeah?
Ham.
Declan
Oh,
Rice.
really?
8-year.
Now I still think he leaves. I
Yeah,
think
but
he leaves
so-
this summer. I think I'd love to see him in a Chelsea
I know,
shirt,
but who wants to pay $120 million for him?
That's
Like,
his
I'm
release
sorry,
clause, right?
but we have clubs need to
Does he have a
put their
release clause?
foot down. They need to stop letting this happen.
What?
I
Does
think he's
Declan
got-
Rice have a release clause?
I don't know.
Because
No,
if he
he
did,
doesn't.
He does. Oh,
Oh, he
damn.
doesn't?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
really?
doesn't.
Listen,
Because if he did 45 million or something like that.
No, because
Oh.
Declan Rice re-signed off an academy contract because he went through the West Ham Youth
the West
Academy.
Ham.
well, yes, after
After a
Chelsea
couple years at
released
Chelsea,
him.
After
yeah,
a
that's
couple
true.
years.
Chelsea
Yeah.
released him. He finished out his academy career at West Ham.
Which is
think,
three crucial developmental years for them.
Yeah, which, listen, he's a Cobham product as much as he is a West Ham product.
Yeah.
Declan Rice, for me, is so much fun to watch. He's so much more in the mold in his attitude, personality of a Gerard Lampard era player.
Well, I want to sort of hold that because we have a lot more to talk about with him later,
Team of
talking
the
about Team of the Season,
Yeah.
which we still have. That's why I'm trying to get through this quick. So then I say West Ham. Besmir,
I'm going a draw.
draw.
City.
West Ham.
All right.
Oh, damn.
Next, we have Wolves versus Norwich. I'm giving it to Wolves. I'm sorry. Norwich and Watford having horrendous seasons. I have no faith in them.
I got Wolves 7-0.
Wolves 7.
Oh,
Wayne Hee-chan scoring a hat trick. Jonathan?
2-0 Wolves.
2-0 Wolves.
Wolves. I hope we all get clipped off of this. And I'm going to start playing the Kirby.
I hope
enthusiasm.
there is 7 goals. 'Cause that'd be the best. prediction I've ever made.
Next, we have Brentford-Everton.
1-1.
This is the game we're leaving off of.
1-1.
I think...
You and me blew it when it was Brentford and Southampton. We thought Southampton would kill Brentford, but it was the whole other way
I didn't
around.
think... You thought it was going to
Oh,
be a
no.
slashing. I thought it was going to be close.
Brentford came, turned around, and
You
slapped
can never
3.
you can never discount Brentford. Never. Even when you have Broha for Southampton, one of the best Albanians. No.
Nope.
Can't discount them. All right, and that's where we're leaving it off. Mondays, Tuesdays games we'll be reviewing on next Wednesday. So make sure you tune in so that way we can figure out our discussions for Newcastle versus Arsenal and Southampton versus Liverpool. Now, the big tuna. The big topic. Bigger than the Rock's muscles. Some would say Jonathan looks like the Rock from the 90s. And you know what? And that's a compliment. I wish I did. Very good looking man.
That's my Halloween costume, the black turtleneck picture. You guys know what I'm
Every
talking
year.
about.
Black turtleneck chain, fanny pack golden.
That's
you don't need
it.
anything else. Now,
It's not a costume. It's what he
Brent-
wears every day.
honestly, he goes around being a Dwayne The Rock Johnson impersonator. That's Jonathan's career, by the way, for nobody who doesn't know.
Yeah, I
He
sell
just
this tequila,
can't
funny
do the
enough.
eyebrow raise. That's it.
It's what he does professionally.
He gets paid for it.
There you go.
Anyway,
Man,
yeah.
Anyways,
So what are we talking about, Artie?
we are talking about the Premier League team of the season.
All right.
Now, we are going to go from goalie to attackers, and then we're going to compare it to who the fans and EA Sports have voted in with FIFA 22. So, for keepers, I only have 4 listed. I wanted to put Mendy and Ramsdale.
You
But-
just hate Chelsea. It's
No,
fine.
but I believe that these 4 keepers have been way more crucial to their club's success and deserve more recognition.
Respect, respect to Brazilian keepers right there. You got 2 on the list.
So I think that Alisson, Ederson, Jose Sa, and Hugo Lloris deserve shouts.
Okay, your first problem is Jose Sa.
Jose
I'd
Sa,
put
are you kidding me? Without Jose
Nah.
Sa, Wolves, I think, would be in the same position as Watford this season.
Ramsdale is clear of Sa right this season.
Jose Sa, either way,
Clear.
I put them 2 just as pity. I think Alisson deserves goalie. You can't tell me otherwise.
Over Ederson?
Yes, over Ederson.
No,
Yes.
no,
I think it's
absolutely
Alisson. I think Alisson's clear.
Absolutely not.
Alisson is clear.
If I was Brazil coach, Ederson would be starting and Alisson would be sitting. unless I need a 90-minute
Jonathan?
header.
Right now it's 2v1. What are you thinking?
It's just so tough. I mean, I think Allison's more consistent, man.
And that's 2v2 tie, which means I also have veto voting power because I'm the host. So Allison's in.
Objection?
Okay.
Okay, we'll take it.
Honestly, I think it's a huge disrespect to Fabianski just because I love Fabianski.
Wait, are we talking about our Polish friend Fabianski or the real Fabianski?
Both.
Both.
I mean, listen. I mean, if we're going by form from Sunday matches, Jonathan in our 7v7 league has been really on form. I think Jonathan gets a shout for our Premier League team of the season too, just
That's
based
it.
off his form.
Jonathan has
Thanks, man.
taken
Appreciate
Allison's
that.
spot. It's now Jonathan at goalkeeper.
But no, I'm fine with Allison or Ederson.
Allison,
Honestly,
yeah. Those
for
two,
me,
yeah.
It's honestly a coin toss, but I just think that Allison's been more crucial for that Liverpool defense than Ederson because that whole team. I think there hasn't been times where Ederson's need to save them, whereas Allison has had to for Liverpool. You know.
Wait, but I thought Van Dijk's like the best center back in history.
Okay,
according
so
to some people.
this actually goes to the next topic. Defenders.
Can't wait.
Those people are the
So here's a short list. I'm gonna read out for the audience. We have Ruben Diaz, João Cancelo, Kyle Walker, Trent Alexander-Arnold, Van Dijk, Robertson, Matip, Christian Romero, Antonio Rudiger, Thiago Silva, Reece James, and Aymeric Laporte.
What formation are we playing?
We're playing 4-3-3.
Okay, so 2 center backs.
So my
4-3-3.
2 center backs,
Don't say something.
I want to say Romero and Rudiger.
I agree with Rudiger, not Romero.
I think Romero deserves a shout, to be honest. Either Romero or here's my other shout, Matip.
No,
I think Matip has been way more crucial for that Liverpool backline than
Absolutely.
Van Dijk has been this season.
I think Romero's still an exciting prospect, but he can't really be on this list. To be
I think
honest.
he's
Nah,
on this
I
list.
think Sergio Romero is a better shout as center back. No, honestly, Romero's quality. Matip is quality. I don't think they're. You look at the league this year. I mean,
Well, here's the thing: are we prioritizing trophy and league position, or are we actually prioritizing individual performances? I think individually, he's really been the heart for that Tottenham team.
the
In
heart-
defense.
but
It
they
literally
still
could-
concede.
but he's
Yeah,
been
but they
injured.
concede so many goals.
Yeah,
but
but
he's been
I think. Yeah, he's been injured, but that's the point to show though that when he's not in that team is just struggling in the
Well,
defense.
Son scores 1 goal and then they concede 3 because he
Yeah.
can't keep scoring.
I am a large opposer. I'm large part in opposition to City and City players.
I just want to make this very
And
abundantly
Liverpool
clear though.
players.
We all agree on Rudiger, right?
Yeah.
I want to make this sure. We're
Yeah, I got
agree.
100%. Rudiger
Rudiger's
is
clear.
Okay.
Yeah.
But that's as a Chelsea fan watching all their matches. Thiago Silva is so good.
No, but
man.
Rudiger's clear. You can't tell me otherwise.
My
bro.
2 center backs personally is Rudiger and Van Dijk for this season. 100%.
Ruben Diaz, I think gets.
I'm gonna say
Ruben Diaz was good.
No, but I'm gonna
tough.
say Ruben Diaz or Van Dijk. I think Ruben Diaz has been better than Van Dijk this season.
That could also be a shot.
I'm not saying like overall career wise. I'm saying right now we're talking about just this season alone.
Yeah, I could see that, yeah.
I mean, listen, I have Rudiger in there. I'm happy, but like I still think when Thiago Silva plays for Chelsea, like he is the epitome of what finesse looks like.
But
and, like, calm, cool,
I
collected.
think Rudiger gives him such a great platform to be able to do that though.
I think it goes the other way around. I think
Yeah, I think, other way.
Rudiger is the one that is more mistake prone, and having the experience and class of Thiago Silva in there makes Rudiger's job look easy. Rudiger just has to have pace and power behind Thiago Silva.
Yeah.
Thiago Silva is a footballer. He plays.
Well, yeah,
the
I
game.
mean he's trained under. Let's not forget Nesta and Maldini, two of the best center backs to ever play.
like if
Vidic and Ferdinand.
the only thing Rudiger has over Silva is his athleticism.
And
Other than
speed.
that, I don't think Rudiger. We have this conversation all the time. 10, 20 years from now, as a Chelsea fan, I might mention Rudiger here or there, but Thiago Silva is just
I think that's
class.
disrespectful to Rudiger. That really is.
No, well, first of all,
but
what
the
he's doing
pairing.
to Chelsea right now is disrespectful.
No, I don't
still
think
love
so.
him.
He won a Champions
He's
League,
leaving.
yeah.
He's leaving on a free.
Yeah, but that's Chelsea's fault though.
Because
They've been negotiating since the summer and they haven't been meeting his demands.
They
And
all-
for someone
they offered
who's
him-
been crucial to that Chelsea defense. How do you not? That's the
they
same deal with
offered
Liverpool
him
right
like
now.
260,000 pounds a week, and he said no to it.
Okay, but what about Mo Salah at Liverpool? He wants more than what they're offering. Is that not fair for players to demand a higher wage when you see players like a Harry Maguire, who's a joke for United, making more money than a
Hey,
Rudiger?
$300,000 a week isn't enough money for Rudiger.
Listen, man, you give me
but
$300,000, I'll be sitting bench every
don't
single
get me
game.
wrong.
I don't care.
Don't get me wrong. This is also like a champagne problem type ordeal we're talking about. But in regard to high-level athletes in sports, he puts himself at a pedestal higher than most of these center backs.
Yeah, but
And rightfully so through performances.
yeah, but he's also had some shambolic performances for Chelsea. Where was Rudiger before he came into Chelsea?
He was in
Roma.
Serie A.
He wasn't even being considered for starting on the German national team. He's now one of the first names on the team sheet. Chelsea took a risk on Rudiger.
Yeah, but also at that time, though, you can't say that for the German national team when they still had Hummels, Boateng.
But regardless, Chelsea took a risk on Antonio
I
Rudiger.
wouldn't say that's a risk. They got a steal. That's not a risk.
When
no
Chelsea
one,
bought
no one
Rudiger-
saw that Rudiger deal as a risk.
Listen, when Chelsea bought Rudiger, everybody saw it as like Chelsea has all these options. They're going for Antonio Rudiger.
No, not many clubs are vying for Rudiger. United wanted to sign him.
Now.
Everybody wanted.
Now.
Before they wanted to sign him
Jonathan-
too.
I would love to see. I mean, I would have.
He's going to Real anyway, so it's not.
Well,
gonna
yeah,
matter.
he is, but
Not that you guys need him.
I would have
anyway.
definitely seen a different center back pairing at Chelsea, not Rudiger. I mean, there's a lot more center backs that Chelsea could have.
I mean,
picked
listen,
up.
like Koulibaly has been rumored forever.
Yeah, to go to the
To
Prem.
everywhere.
That would be fantastic.
Yeah.
To United,
Right?
to Arsenal, to
But, like-
Chelsea, to City. He's been rumored everywhere.
Thiago Silva ever has a bad game for Chelsea because he gets put up against someone who's really fast and they just run
But
by him.
I don't think it's ever been a Thiago Silva bad game. I think because when players in the midfield don't do their job at times, like when you're missing out on a Kovacic in the midfield, I think that's where you see a lot of Thiago Silva mistakes.
Thiago Silva's mistakes only come when it's something not in his control. When he can't control the fact that someone like Vinicius is going to run by him or someone of that caliber, speed or something, right?
Yeah.
Antonio Rudiger makes mistakes just because of his quality. He has some any match where Antonio Rudiger has to battle and fight to the death on the pitch, he's phenomenal. But when it comes to needing someone to control a game, Thiago Silva's class.
Yeah, but that's like the Vidic Ferdinand argument. Who do you think is better?
No, like Thiago Silva is in the right places at the right time to intercept. He's winning balls in the air, putting challenges in.
I'm
Right.
sorry, like I'm not gonna lie. There's nothing you can do to convince me that says that Thiago Silva's been better than Rudiger this season.
Well, in all fairness, if this is the difference, right? It's like me trying to tell you about United. You watch every United game. I watch every Chelsea game. You know, when I watch Chelsea play, having Thiago Silva in the side for me is super important in our big matches.
It's massive.
Rudiger looks really good because of Thiago Silva. You know, and it shows whenever Thiago Silva's not playing at Chelsea right now, you know, they suffer. And there's a reason Chelsea doesn't seem too upset to let Rudiger go, but they're making sure they hold on to Silva next season.
Yeah, but
It's
they're
that veteran.
losing. Yeah, but they're losing. The only two real center backs you're gonna have in that team next season is Trevor Chalobah and Thiago Silva. Thiago Silva, respect. Trevor Chalobah, I'm sorry, he's nowhere in comparison.
Yeah, but you act like
to the
Chelsea
players
doesn't
like
have money.
Mark Gahey.
Yeah,
and
what do you mean?
Tomori you have to let go.
Chalobah's in the same situation, if not having had a better season this year than Tomori's season at Chelsea. The one good season he had with us
Not
before we
even-
let him
but
go.
He wasn't even given enough chances. You can't say one good
Yeah,
season.
but Chalobah's been given as many chances as Tomori was given, right? And Chalobah has like a handful of goals this season. He's put in some very good displays in big matches. Like he
All
got
right, we
the
have-
start against
we
Liverpool.
We have to decide the center back pairing. So we're all in agreement of Rudiger. I'm
Yeah, that's
not
fine.
accepting Thiago Silva argument here.
Rudiger, Ruben Diaz for me.
I agree with you, Dejan. Rudiger, Ruben Diaz. So
Same.
we're not giving.
That's fine with
Same.
me.
I would pick those two. Same.
Okay.
Okay, see,
So left back.
left back Cancelo.
Cancelo.
Yeah, Cancelo. Oh, well, here's the thing. Do we want to argue for him right back and then maybe give
No.
a shout to a couple other left backs in the league? Maybe.
No.
I think there's too many good right backs to consider.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
that's why. I
Cancelo's
want to make
clear.
sure. I want to make sure we get that out of the way first. Okay. Cancelo left back clear. Now right back.
Kyle Walker.
Really?
Trent,
But
this
there's
season
three,
Trent hasn't
there's
done nothing.
three. There's Reece James. There's Kyle Walker and there's Trent Alexander-Arnold.
James.
I say
I would take James on right.
this is going to be very contentious.
Yeah, I agree.
I say take Trent out of the equation, and now I have to decide between Reece and Kyle.
Yeah, Reese.
Clear.
And I think, like, I want to say Reece James, but Kyle Walker has been sensational. City against Real, they lose that game against Real because they don't have Kyle Walker.
That's tough.
That's an
That's tough,
overstatement.
yeah, because you're also facing Real Madrid.
Well, you gotta understand though. As soon as Kyle Walker gets subbed off, and as soon as De Bruyne gets subbed off, they lose control in the midfield, and they lose control in that right flank where Vinicius was going rampant.
Nah, this season I got Reese. Reese
Yeah,
has been killer this
Cancelo
season.
on the left, Reese on the right.
But you were just arguing for a Kyle Walker start before.
I look at it like this.
Yeah, but then I have to rethink it, sit there, and
I look at it like this, and I haven't made a point yet about Reece James.
Phenomenal.
Real Madrid is dying to have Reece James. I think.
I'd rather have him than the Rudiger.
I think every club in the world would love to have Reece James in their lineup right now.
No doubt.
Wait, Real.
Reece
I would love
James
to.
is the complete right back right now. Like he's the guy.
He's a monster.
He's the guy who will do the things that he can do. Half the things Trent can do in the attack,
but better.
No.
but more efficient.
I think he's a better goal scorer than Trent and
Yes.
Kyle Walker.
Yes.
That's what I'm saying. Like, but
Physically,
the
he's
difference thing,
stronger.
but like, well, no, but I'm just saying because like
Passing
when
could be
you
a
when
little
you
bit better,
listen, when you look at a Trent, for example, when he plays, like he sort of has like that look of like not really a right back, like a winger. Like
He's not a right back.
Yeah,
You seen him defend?
like
He's
the,
like Basaka.
the best way I explain Trent is as if David Beckham played right back. I think that's the best comparison.
Yeah, I mean, listen,
That's
I still think
interesting.
he has a great delivery on him.
Trent should be playing right wing back.
I think
I
Robertson.
think he should play in the midfield.
I
personally.
think Robertson and Alexander Arnold and Trent are a tad bit overrated at times.
No, I think
I love Rabo though.
Robertson's a more complete defender than Trent.
Robbo
which
is a
why
defender.
I rate him higher than
He's
Trent
your left
Alexander-Arnold.
back, but Trent.
Which is why I asked about the right back argument, because we could just throw Cancelo at right back and then argue for Robertson left back too.
I don't think Robertson comes close to Reece James.
No.
No.
I mean, Robertson's a tremendous leader, first of all, but
Cancelo and Reece James are, for me, I think the two partnership that is probably best.
I think defensively, Liverpool's fullbacks at times are put a bit on a pedestal.
too much credit.
You know, it's almost like they're center backs. Like when your midfielders in your front three win the ball so often off the high press,
Yeah.
that all you're doing is picking a clearance out of the air and going forward. I mean, it's just a constant supply of, hey, give the wing backs the ball, let them whip some crosses and get them involved. I think their jobs are made easy in Klopp's system.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
it when you have the front three of Mane, Salah, and Firmino, or Jota now, or Luis Diaz, I think it's almost easy to be a fullback in that team. You know, not that they're not quality world-class players. They are. I'm not going to argue that. I just don't think they're at the same level either. Them Robertson or Trent Alexander-Arnold are at the level of Kyle Walker, and I think Reece James has had a very good season for someone who was out injured for so long this season. I still think he's been so good. The fact that we're discussing this,
he's amazing.
and Reece James spent like two and a half months out injured, and he immediately came back to that same level, is phenomenal. I mean,
For me, it's just hard not to give it to Kyle Walker because of how great he's been throughout the whole entire season.
well, I love Reece James. My vote is going Kyle Walker though.
Okay.
Okay.
You guys, yeah, I'm the resident Chelsea supporter here, but Kyle Walker's just like he oozes class.
Okay, so what is everyone's vote for right back right now?
Kyle
Tell me.
Walker for me.
Kyle Walker, Dejan,
I got Reese.
Reese.
Yeah, Reece James gets it for
I'm
me.
the deciding vote because I get the tie and the veto power.
Well, let me plead the case for Kyle Walker. Reece James was injured for how long?
No. I agree with you, but
Well, John, we're out the equation.
Reece James didn't play a large chunk of the season.
I just think he gets the job done.
I think
he's so
I think
young,
it has to go to Kyle Walker, to be perfectly honest.
he's more seasoned, he's more proven, I get it.
I
but
think for this season, I
I think
Kyle
for
Walker.
this season and for how crucial he's been to that defensive solidity of him and Ruben Diaz really carrying that back line, with
Right.
having shady performances from a John Stones.
Yeah, you're right.
From Aymeric Laporte, because realistically, Cancelo, he's not really a defender in that back four. He drifts into the midfield.
No,
That's how
yeah,
left back's
you're right.
always been for
I mean,
a Pep system.
I look at it like this: if Chelsea, and I'll argue this with anyone, if Chelsea had a healthy Reece James and a healthy Ben Chilwell all season, we compete for the title.
Oh yeah, guaranteed.
easily.
You know, and Ben Chilwell pushes Cancelo there for the team of the season.
That
if
would be
he's healthy.
tough. That's a
If
tough.
Chilwell gets injured, Chelsea starts to drop results. Reece James gets injured, they see a bigger dip in form. Because you're not going to Azpilicueta and Alonso at wingback over Chilwell and Reece James.
Here's my question: why did you guys have that vice versa, where you had Reece James at center back, then Aspi at right wing back? Why would you have it
Against
swapped
Real
around?
Madrid?
Yeah,
In the second leg?
yeah. Why wouldn't that?
Vinicius' pace.
Yeah, but Reece James can keep up with the pace out wide.
Yeah, but when you're playing wingback, Reece James would have to recover 75 yards to catch him.
Yeah.
You know, and then it's Aspilicueta next to Thiago Silva.
Yeah, but
there's no way
yeah,
either of them
here's the
catch
thing.
Vinicius.
You can afford it to have sort of Alonso be caught up higher and Reece James be caught a little more back. But sort of have it be like an auxiliary back four sometimes.
Reece James is too good of an attacking player when he's at wingback to keep him back.
Yeah, but he's equally as good defensively though, which is why he's in this conversation for team of the season.
Which at the same time, now I'm gonna make the same point I make with everyone when they want to talk about that game. Chelsea should have won the game.
Yeah, they were the better
they
team.
should have
We
won
talked
by
about this
more.
earlier. Yeah.
So having Ruben Loftus-Cheek playing wherever he was playing that match, having Aspilicueta and all these guys play wherever they were playing worked. Listen, Real Madrid grabbed. Real Madrid had a bit of luck in that match to knock Chelsea out in the second leg. Which listen, you need some of that.
So now, just be perfectly agreeing,
for you, where's your vote going?
the vote's going Kyle Walker, and that's the veto as well.
fine.
So a majority Man City back line. I hate it.
Yeah.
I hate it, but it has to be. I'm sorry, defensively, it just has to be.
Like
That's fine.
In that case,
Look,
I'm fine with Allison being in net because we can't afford Ederson back there too.
Yeah,
that's what I'm
okay.
saying. Like,
That's why I was also arguing for Allison. We need someone different. Okay, midfield three.
See, now here's your problem. There's so many class midfielders here that did outstanding.
Now, hold on. I have a hot take, and people are not going to expect this from me.
Please don't say Bruno.
No. Listen.
If you say Bruno, I'm gonna get up and
listen. Bruno does not belong on this list whatsoever. To be perfectly clear, he's here because we're going to discuss this more towards the end.
for vibes.
For who was picked for the EA Sports Team of the Season. There's a main reason why he's here, and I think he does not belong here whatsoever. If we're going by midfield three,
why is Saka here?
Saka, because I had him back down there because I don't know whether to put him as a forward line attacker, as a right winger.
He's a winger.
Or to have him because he plays more so as like a deep lying right mid. So that's why I was like I didn't know like how to really place him. You know.
You sure not playing career mode?
If we're talking, if we're gonna talk about our midfield
position
three,
changing?
I'm just gonna put Kovacic, Rice, De Bruyne out there as my three.
Okay.
First of all, I think Kovac. Actually, Steven Gerrard came out recently and said he thinks like Mason Mount and Kovacic are two of the best midfielders in the world right now. I think Kovacic is
Okay, you said
unreal.
your three. Hold on.
Those are my
Dejan,
three.
who's your three?
I got Odegaard, De Bruyne, and honestly, either Rice or Rodri. Maybe even a James Prowse, maybe a Conor Gallagher.
Oh, you
Højbjerg
really
is
don't
a
like
good shot.
Kovacic, huh? He doesn't like the Croatian.
It's not.
Jonathan,
Oh man.
you
It's
gotta
tough.
pick your three. Just rip the Band-Aid off.
Yeah. So all right. So I'm actually gonna an unpopular opinion. Højbjerg. Did I pronounce that name right?
Yeah.
Højbjerg.
Højbjerg. I think he's a pretty good anchor
Did
in
you
the
really just throw
midfield.
your hat? What's wrong with you, bro?
Lord have mercy.
Because he didn't like he didn't like.
I
the
know.
opinion.
Keep going.
Brother,
going.
I think he's been pretty. I mean, I know he's also
Yep.
been missing the parts of the season, but he's been crucial for
Spurs. Okay.
So Højbjerg, I think. I mean, De Bruyne for sure, and I think Kovacic. I'd put him in there, just to kind of.
Now my three is Ward-Prowse, Galaxy, or Ericsson. No, I'm joking. Honestly,
Almost as bad as having Højbjerg.
I'm not gonna lie. You all have been very disrespectful to a Bernardo Silva.
I like Bernardo.
Bernardo Silva has been clear this season.
He's more of a center forward, though.
He's more of a right winger.
Yeah, but he's been playing as a center mid this season.
Okay, if we're gonna put him in the 10, De Bruyne takes it every day of the week against Bernardo Silva. I'm sorry.
But De Bruyne's playing box to box. He's not playing 10.
Would you say Odegaard over
I
Bernardo
have-
Silva?
I would
This
say
season?
Bernardo Silva over Odegaard. Bernardo Silva's been better than Odegaard this season. I'm sorry to say it, Dejan, but he has been.
Well, can we discuss the fact that I think I'm the only person that said Declan Rice and the fact that
Oh
he-
no!
I said either Rice or
This
Rodri.
listen. This
That
leads
was the
to
hard one for
my
me.
three. So my three, Besmir, I'm sorry, is Rice, Bernardo Silva, De Bruyne.
Oh wow.
Yikes.
That's my three.
I think Kovacic walks into any midfield in the world right now.
Yep.
Yeah, but you cannot
Coming
sit
from a United
here.
fan also, who wants half a full city.
I despise this. I hate it. I'm saying this from a neutral. This hurts my heart so much, but I have to say this.
Oh Lord.
It has to be a Bernardo Silva, De Bruyne, and you can't tell me otherwise.
Well, it's your show, so of course we
No,
can't.
Listen, actually, no.
Anything
Yeah,
we
right.
The one guarantee that has to be in this midfield is Declan Rice. That's the one guarantee.
But what about
guess so,
Rodri?
yeah.
Rodri also had a phenomenal season.
Yeah, but Declan Rice has been better than Rodri. Declan Rice is the one where we can say clear.
Sure. I mean, no, I don't disagree with that.
No, that's fine.
Okay.
I just think, dude, I look at, I can't think of another player in the world that has like there's a specific quality Kovacic has, and like this.
I know. I want to say
my
Kovacic.
This
I
is the
really
only.
do.
This is the only push I'm making for a Chelsea player in the team of the season right now. Is I think Kovacic is. He has that specific quality where his performance alone can inspire the entire team. He has a similar effect on the Chelsea team right now. When he's on, it's like when Eden Hazard was on.
Just letting you know, Besmir, when we get to we do have a bench list as well. So if there's players who you want that don't make it, they do make it.
Yeah,
onto
Bernardo Silva.
Bernardo Silva's not making the bench list, though. I'm sorry to tell
Okay,
you.
put him on the wing or something. If
Yeah, but you
it's a
can't.
crime. If
Well, okay,
Yeah,
but
but
you
the wingers
cannot put him
you
on the wing though, because he has been better than Salah or Son.
Can we take Silva versus Kovacic to a vote? Because I think we agree.
Okay,
Rice and De Bruyne, we
so
agree, right?
Do we
Yeah,
all agree?
Rice-
Declan Rice and Kevin De Bruyne.
Yes.
Yeah. I'll give you
Okay,
that.
so everyone,
I feel like I'm back in school.
Welcome to democracy, Ardi.
Kovacic or Bernardo Silva.
Kovacic for me.
Kovacic clear.
Kovacic.
Kovacic clear.
Okay, so
He's
as-
gonna veto
as
us.
vetoing-
He's gonna veto
Okay,
everyone.
no. Just be fair. Okay, so we'll do Kovacic. That's fair. Okay, Kovacic, De Bruyne, Declan Rice. I agree.
You know, and we might as well be asking Pep what his preferred
Kovacic
11 is. I mean, Lord have mercy.
Okay.
We're going to hear Kun Aguero in the 9
no,
right now.
no. Right.
Dzeko's gonna break it.
Actually, look. Okay, so now we're going to go to the attackers.
Okay.
So it's Ronaldo, Kane, Son, Salah, Sadio Mane, Jota, Riyad Mahrez, Kai Havertz. But here's my question:
Interesting.
does Luis Diaz deserve a shout in this list?
No.
Okay, I want to just double check that.
Not
'cause
yet.
I didn't put him down.
Wait.
He's not exactly proven on the Premier League
Yeah.
yet.
He's only came in for half a season.
So Jonathan, I want to start off with your front three. Who is it? Just letting you know, if we're talking about Golden Boot, it's Salah, Son, Ronaldo. Top three right now
What do you mean?
No.
for the Golden Boot race in the Prem. I'm letting you know those are who are the top.
Oh yeah,
top
Son is like
scorers
2
are.
goals away.
Yeah,
Son is like 2 goals away.
Son has 17, I think. 17
So
or
for
18.
me, it'd be Son, Ronaldo, Salah.
Son, Ronaldo, Salah. Okay, Dejan,
I got Son, Ronaldo, and Mane.
Besmir,
Son, Ronaldo, Salah.
Son, Ronaldo, Salah. I think
I'll be the
there's-
black sheep of the family. That's fine.
Yeah, but
Doesn't
like,
matter.
but here's so
I think,
here's my
I think that on
question.
the counter is
I had
ridiculous.
I had what?
I think that team hitting you on the counter
Oh, that's bad.
scary.
That's scary.
Like, I love Sadio Mane. I just prefer Salah over Mane.
Well, here's
And I think Son. I
You
prefer
prefer his
Son over
finishing.
Mane as well.
You prefer
Yeah.
the finishing more than the
But here, okay, so then,
Some
so
provides that.
so just to have this all written down, all good to go. I'm gonna type this up for us. Hold on. So
Actually, can we throw Kovacic at the 9 too? I'm pretty sure at this point we can win that vote, right, guys?
so
Dude,
I had to put up the vote first. So joke's on you. So we
It's a
agree.
dictatorship.
Allison goal, left back. João
Cancelo.
Cancelo.
Right back is
No, we're going center back right after. Hold on, 'cause I'm doing this on my computer over here, making the list. I need this for the thumbnail. You know, I gotta make sure this is like organized.
yeah.
Hmm.
And then we agreed on Ruben Diaz and Rudiger.
Yep.
yep.
Rudiger.
Right
And
back
then
is Kyle
right
Walker.
back Kyle Walker.
Midfield three of
Wait, real quick, I do want to give a shout out to Kyle Walker Peters for Southampton. What a season he had after being seen as like one of the worst players at Tottenham. Just kudos to him. I wanted to give that quick shout out.
Yeah. He's been quality. Can we also talk a bit about Jorginho?
For what? What do you want to put him as?
I would put it up for vote. Him as the captain of this team.
No,
missing 5-yard passes.
get out of here, bro.
Oh wait, so, I mean,
Where are we at?
If I can agree that Fernandez does not belong anywhere near this list, you can agree that Jorginho doesn't either. Don't.
I can agree on that too.
I mean, he came in 5th for Ballon d'Or.
Unrightfully so.
The guy
Don't-
can make a
don't-
5-yard pass in
Guys,
front of him.
I
The
don't.
European Player of the Year?
None of you get me started right now. We had this argument, episode 1. I'm not going through this again.
yeah, Bruno Fernandes. You know,
He's still
no,
it's
he's
still
been
his
missing
nickname,
pens
huh?
lately, so don't even call him Fernandez. I'm
even
nicking this in
worse.
the bud, leaving it there. That's final.
Okay,
All right, sorry. Other center mid, Kovacic.
I mean, you know it's bad when a referee can beat Jorginho out of pace.
so Declan Rice, Kovacic, and De Bruyne. we that's unanimous, right?
Yeah, that's
we're just 4 guys in New Jersey talking about these players like they're not good, like Jorginho. we're talking about pace about Jorginho. the guy won the Champions League last year, and we're attacking him. If we're gonna attack him, can we please attack like?
All right, so then
like
our front
Matic's
three
pace?
is Son. Listen. Yeah, Matic is slow. So Son, Ronaldo, Salah. That's agreed for our striking. Now our bench.
Okay, where's
So here's who EA Sports voted as their bench:
Ardi, John, Dejan, Besmir.
Sadio Mane, Declan Rice, Diogo Jota, and Rodri.
Fair.
But who do we change out of here? To be honest, 'cause I
there's
think
only 4 players.
Mane,
That's not much of a
Silva have
Yeah, no. That's what I'm saying. This is what EA did. I know. That's Jonathan. This is what EA did. I don't know.
Jonathan's so upset right now.
He's like, I wanted 7 players.
I play so much FIFA. I'm like, wait, how are you gonna have only?
Yeah, I know.
last
I know,
three.
I know.
Jonathan's looking for some free agent. He signed on career mode right now for the bench.
Oh my goodness.
Okay, so EA only released 4 bench players, like for the official team, not like SBCs or anything.
Those are the veto votes that already was trying to
Yeah,
make.
those are the ones that get out of here.
Silva's automatically on the bench, guys.
So
what-
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Bernardo Silva clear. He's over Rodri. Actually, no, he's technically over Rice because Rice made it to our starting,
So what are we gonna
Yeah.
pick?
and Fernandez was taken out, so Bernardo Silva earned his spot, right?
And
What
I
are we
guess
picking from
Ederson would be our backup keeper.
but there was no keeper in the official.
Well, we
one.
have to put 7 if we're gonna have an 18.
Yeah,
right?
right?
Well,
Wait,
no,
but
we're not
somebody
we don't
also
have-
does
To be
deserve-
honest, we don't have time for 7 right now. We only have time to agree on 4 right now.
Okay, so
Fair, that's fine.
but
Well,
there's only 4 though.
I mean, I think Mane has
Isn't
to
it?
grab. I think Mane has to grab one of those spots. Silva grabs Rodri.
Jota.
I mean, Jota, yeah. I
Nah.
think.
Jota's been he
Wait,
sent
if Mane-
Ramsdale to the shops that one.
So here's the
that
thing.
one
So for what it looks like for me, to be honest, it's Sadio Mane, Bernardo Silva, Jota, Rodri. Is that fair for our 4?
I think there's other players over Jota that would deserve to be thrown in there, but that's
No, Sadio Mane covers that spot pretty much. I think.
Do you
Yeah,
think
Mane-
so? 'Cause
Mane
I,
can
I,
go on
I,
the wing.
I feel like Jota deserves the shout though.
Nah,
I feel like
he's
he
an
does
honorable
too.
mention, but
yeah. I think he's the first out of the reserve.
Because he's filled that void that Firmino sort of left this season.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, I just
but remember Luis Diaz
Think about
covered.
it. Yeah, but think about it though. Every single time where Liverpool needs a goal, who do you see on the scoreline? You
Jota's
see
been
Jota.
there.
like we haven't mentioned Raheem Sterling or Riyad Mahrez or any of these City
Well,
players.
no,
at
I
all.
Mahrez
mentioned
bores
Mahrez.
me. I'll
I
give it
mentioned
Sterling.
Mahrez. So here's the thing. To be honest, I would not mind swapping out a Jota for a Mahrez if we have to be fair.
As a coach, I would if I'm picking my lineup, I'm picking Riyad Mahrez. I think he's
Yeah,
magic.
he's class. He should be guaranteed.
I think
starter for
there's
City.
2 players in the world that have that kind of quality that Mahrez has, and I think it's Mahrez and Ziyech. Like they're these
yeah,
2 kinds of
Ziyech.
players that
Yeah.
are just like there's something about them. They have that special something trait that like when they get on the ball, they make something magical happen.
I
Yeah.
agree. I agree.
Mahrez.
They're like
All
a
right,
typical
so
wizard.
are we
Yeah.
in agreement of swapping out Jota for Mahrez?
I'd approve that.
Okay.
I would.
Yeah,
you
go
guys?
for it. Why not?
Yeah, sure. I mean, both of them are. Well,
Jonathan's making a vote for Benzema, Premier League, John. Benzema gets put into every team.
Now here's my
not
question:
on the bench ever.
Do we believe that Rodri deserves a bench spot over a player like a Odegaard, James Ward-Prowse, a Conor Gallagher, Højbjerg, Eriksson, John McGinn?
Yes, if you ask me, I think.
Well,
it's a
John
shame
McGinn
we only
also
have
is in the
4.
team
if,
this
we-
season.
if we had more than 4, I think
Yeah.
He's the community team of the season, but he's also in our short list. That's why I'm asking.
John McGinn.
Because technically we have to fill in a
John
spot.
McGinn?
John McGinn. Because technically we have to fill in a spot because of
no love for Mark Noble this year.
yeah. Sorry, Narc
Why-
Noble.
why?
No.
I love Mark Noble.
So here's the thing, because technically
Brexit.
because Rice made our starting 11 and Fernandez left it, rightfully so. It filled in the gap where Bernardo Silva filled in, and then we'd basically have.
you said Bernardo Silva on the bench.
Yeah, so we'd basically have 3 City and 1 Liverpool, and I don't want City to be dominating this whole entire list, even on the bench.
So Mane,
Mane,
Mahrez.
Bernardo Silva, Mahrez, and Rodri.
Wait, we're
would
not
be our
considering
bench.
Harry Maguire.
As worst player of the season. I think we'll put that to a vote.
or even Christian Eriksen. You put it on that list right there. I mean,
Oh, in the
why
short
Eriksen?
list? Excuse me, man came back from a heart
All right.
attack and ripped up the. Prem.
Oh, he
Come
came
on.
back from a heart. Decides to play a couple.
You
of games.
you
Come
try
on, bro.
having a heart attack and then
Dude,
play soccer,
he
bro.
just-
Talk
he
to
just
me then. Talk to me then.
class is permanent though.
He just came to the Premier League, not even a season. He's already considered a team of the, part of the team. of the
Especially
season.
what he's
Come
been
on
doing
now.
for Brentford.
Nah, man. I'm
He's
sorry.
the second
How
half
many
of the
games did he
league.
play? Like
He is on Jesse Lingard form at West Ham right now.
oh man. Yeah.
Yeah,
Come on,
yeah.
man.
A really quick, couple of good games, and then a
Couple
drop
of good
in-
games.
into
6
nowhere.
months. A phenomenal 6 months for Brent.
Where is Jesse Lingard now?
He's on the bench for United, and I don't know why. He should have left.
He's with his brother, cursing you guys out on Instagram.
I feel so bad. I feel so bad for Jesse.
He's gonna do well for Derby and League One next year.
No, he's not. He is
Under Wayne Rooney.
Honestly, I'll tell you right now, I can see him starting for Leicester or for West Ham again.
All right, we're gonna cut that one short.
Yeah, I disagree. Well, actually, what we think of Leicester as a club is what youth think of Jesse Lingard. Just not good enough.
Back off. All right.
So Ericsson's just way too early.
Okay, that's fine. So then, but here's the thing. So midfield, do we think anyone else deserves a shout there though over Rodri? Just to make that abundantly clear. Do we think Odegaard deserves a place on there?
Yes.
No.
Jonathan?
Over Rodri? No way.
Ex-Real Madrid player, you signed him at 16?
Yeah, but he's a
Never
flop.
played him.
He's not a flop. You're calling him a flop?
I mean, sure, he's proven himself at Arsenal, but bro, I don't want him back.
Yeah, but you're sounding, bro.
I don't want him back.
He's sounding cool. Yeah, okay, but Real Madrid fans thought that Modric was a flop the first season he went. Like, so you're really gonna say he's a flop right now? You guys have no right to be saying anything.
They say he's the next Ozil or whatever. I mean, I don't know.
Oof, I don't know about that.
I don't know.
You can't mention that name around Arsenal.
People say that. People say no.
Yeah, no.
That's the thing. I mean, we gotta tell Kenny.
I'm gonna be honest.
Where's Kenny, man?
Odegaard doesn't.
Kenny, come back from Italy. We need your opinion.
Yeah.
Odegaard doesn't play for Chelsea. He doesn't play for City. I think he struggles to get into the side at United. Especially with the kind of players they're looking to bring in.
Yeah.
I think Odegaard, with all due respect to Arsenal, I say it all the time. They're a massive club. But I still think they're not a top four team.
I only posed this question because of how much he's been like crucial to their success lately.
Yeah, Odegaard's a perfect
about
fit
Smith
for
Rowe,
Arsenal,
man?
but other clubs, I
Might
don't
as well
think
mention Smith Rowe because
he'd be good there. Honestly, I feel like he'd be on the bench just wasting his talent. But for Arsenal, that's a perfect fit for him. I don't think anybody else.
I think the only reason why Odegaard might look good is because Smith Rowe's just on fire.
Well, I also think it's a system thing
actually,
at Arsenal.
Actually, Smith Rowe's been on a downturn lately.
I think it's a system thing with Arsenal, though. I think Arteta's building a really strong system at Arsenal. That's making a lot of these guys look a lot better than they are.
I think from what it looks like, Arteta's building that team around Odegaard, like low key. Like,
Listen, really? Odegaard is quality. Don't get me wrong.
There's a reason why he signed for Real Madrid at 16. I want to make this. I want to like keep hammering at this.
Yeah,
point.
but why is he not there?
Because I'm sorry, but
Real
Real's
has
transfer
Modric,
business, you can't
Casemiro,
talk.
and
Hold on.
Cruz.
Are you really gonna ask why he's not there when you guys have sold players like Hakimi for no reason when you're struggling for a right back? Real Madrid's transfer business has been horrendous.
So horrendous. They're in the Champions League final and they just won La Liga.
Oh yeah, but don't get me started. No. I know you're trying to do it to me. No.
And one of the best.
Play my green.
Obviously one of the top academies in the world. I mean,
but we can make social media comments all we want. But Real Madrid for a team that's rebuilding, they're in the Champions League final. Beating PSG, Chelsea, City en route to beating Liverpool, and they won La Liga. With a couple games to spare, like Real Madrid is frighteningly good for a team that it shouldn't be good.
Yeah.
I wish Chelsea in a rebuild, which we kind of still are. Yeah, we won the Champions League last year, but that came off a really good run of form. Mm-hmm. Like Real Madrid is not supposed to be this good. Let's be clear. An aging Cruz, Casemiro, Modric midfield, right? Benzema, old man Benzema up top. A bunch of young guys. They bring in David Alaba.
But they've also been smart because they don't play the whole game. They only keep Modric on later, and then they bring on players like Valverde and Camavinga, who, by the way,
they keep Modric on for like 70 minutes per game.
But we just said horrendous. One of us just said horrendous transfer market dealings. Alaba, they brought Militao, Camavinga.
I'm saying outgoings, not incoming, because incoming they've been smart.
Who cares? Let them get rid of whoever they want. Let them get rid of Hakimi. I mean, Camavinga, for me, is going to be one of the greatest midfielders in the world in the next couple years.
I agree.
He's 19 years old. He's 20 years old.
Brilliant.
But circling back to Prem.
Yes.
We could talk about Real Madrid all.
No, but we could do a Serie A team of the season, but who would care about it?
You mean La Liga?
La Liga team of the season, but who?
Jonathan's going to start his own radio show where he only talks Real Madrid.
Yeah, sorry, you missed out on your submission for our shows. It was due yesterday.
He's going to call it the Real Propaganda Show.
Yeah.
Oh my God, Real Papa Real.
Yeah.
Madridistas
The name is going to be the Galactico.
Your new name is Papa Madrid. That's
Madrid.
what we're calling you moving forward. Okay, Papa Madrid?
All right. There you go. I like that.
No, he doesn't.
Ready. Yeah, Papi. All right. So,
It's
are
match
we
week.
are we saying anything about Rodri at all, just to make sure?
I think he stays. Like
He stays.
I think he stays, but I wanted to make sure we covered all of our bases.
He holds that nice reserve spot.
Yeah.
Yeah, Guardiola might kill us if we're not starting him, but that's not our problem.
Nah, it's not our
It's
problem,
Pep's.
Could also be left on
But
the bus.
I think if Pep had a Rice, he starts.
Well, I don't know. Pep likes that Busquets 6.
Yeah, he does.
He likes that slower
But here's the
midfielder.
thing. So, if hypothetically City ever got a Rice, who would he start over? De Bruyne?
Play both of them.
Who? Oh, City. Oh.
Like, would he be playing?
Rodri, Rice, De Bruyne.
Because here's the thing. Because Cancelo
And Silva
plays
wider out.
as an auxiliary midfielder. So
Or even Bernardo Silva, Kevin De Bruyne, and Rice.
yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Well, no. Well, you could play De Bruyne or Silva in like a false wing position where they tuck in. They play like a wide 10, sort of what Fabregas did for the Spanish national team when he played at left wing. And it's almost just having a center attack midfielder out wide, you know, and it's
Pretty much.
you know, someone pacey out on the other wing like Raheem Sterling making runs across. I think it's have to throw in Raheem Sterling. I love the man. So continue. Go ahead.
Just to confirm, we're gonna read off our list of who we chose. So our list is Alisson, Cancelo, Ruben Diaz, Antonio Rudiger, Kyle Walker, De Bruyne, Kovacic, Declan Rice, Son, Ronaldo, Salah. That's our starting 11. Our bench: Sadio Mane, Bernardo Silva, Riyad Mahrez, Rodri.
Yeah, that's fine with me.
Sure. It's only 4 on the bench, but whatever.
And
They're not like us
I want
superheads,
to just read off EA's just because of how ridiculous, like sort of ridiculous it is. Because
Okay.
the first 3 we agree with Alisson, Cancelo, Ruben Diaz, but then they have Van Dijk and Trent,
Yeah.
and then it goes to De Bruyne, which I agree with, but then they have Bruno Fernandes, which don't get me wrong, I love Bruno, but he does not deserve any shout this season.
Listen, man.
He's been sort of like he's had a bad season. Let him just get it out of his system, and then let him come back to being his best next season.
EA will always give a nice, gigantic hug to Van Dijk when it comes to team of the season.
Oh yeah, they have to sell packs somehow.
Exactly.
And then they also had they had De Bruyne, Fernandes, Bernardo Silva, Son, Ronaldo, Salah, and their bench was Sadio Mane, Rice, Jota, and Rodri.
It's almost like ours with a couple tweaks. But to me, it's fine. I mean, ours is a lot better because, we have brains, and unfortunately, EA don't. That's my shot at EA because I'm tired of.
It's no longer FIFA now. Is EAFC, just to make that clear.
Well,
What? Is
after
that what it-
23. Because FIFA 23 is still going to be FIFA 23.
Yeah.
Just afterwards, that's when they're going to.
Because they couldn't strike a deal with FIFA, so
Yeah.
they had to change the name.
Because
Get
FIFA
outta
clearly
here.
doesn't make
Fair.
enough
Yep.
money that they need even more money from EA Sports.
ridiculous.
Well, it's because they want to get the money from Pez. They want Pez to pay out a lot of money.
And maybe this is something we can talk about next week. I saw a tweet that I thought was brilliant. It was people were making an argument that FIFA is one of the major drivers of interest in soccer in the United States.
Yeah.
Wow.
And how FIFA should be considered a bigger driver for the sport than like MLS and some of these other big organizations that say they do all the driving. So I'm going to do some research on it, and we can maybe talk about it next week on how important FIFA and the video game culture for soccer has been to growth of the sport in this country.
100%.
That's fair.
So, guys, it's sadly 12 o'clock. We're at the end of our show.
Top of the hour.
You are listening top of the hour on WMSC Upper Montclair. And this is Matchweek.
Y este es Matchweek. Gracias.
Thanks for having us, Ardi.
Thanks, Ardi.
Love you all. Have some fun. Listen to some music. And